Just me and Gary. Like, he took me on a dinner because I was persistent with him alone. Like, it was a kind of a date. Like, see, that's the best date of the world. Like, bro. Just because I started narrating stories. I got really fascinated by the concept of telling stories in public as a public speaker. So I started doing that offline. I started telling my stories. I started telling everybody about my journey, of my entrepreneurship, about my thoughts. In the offline world, I was already doing this. While I was doing all of this, I realized, ki bro, if we need to expand, we need to find out a way to make this bigger. How can we do that? Social media. And when I opened social media, because I knew that the internet is something which makes people popular. That's one thing which I knew. I was like, great. I'll open internet. I opened social media websites. And then I saw this man shouting, ranting every day. I was like, that's Garyvee. I was like, whoa. I love what he's saying. And I love how natural he is. I love how candid he is. I can totally relate to my style. I could totally relate. Like, the only reason why I got little success in the world of speaking, because I was completely informal. Every time I would go and speak at colleges or events or conferences, there would be 10 speakers, 9 of them would talk like, good morning everybody, this is professional, come up with their PPTs. I would go there, rap and shout and dance. So people would like, bhai, ye kya ho raha hai? And I could relate that style with Gary. He was like, damn. Then I started reading about the man, started reading his books. And then I read his book called Crush It. I was like, oh, internet ye kar sakta hai. Internet में ये power है. Internet can do this. I was like, damn, I need to do this. I started building my particular brand on the website, on the platforms. When I started doing it, I started doing it the same way. Impromptu, natural, organic. Even if you see today my reels, it is like I'm talking to someone. And I'm talking to you right now. From this, we're going to take out like 3 or 4 reels and we're going to put it on Instagram. This is how we create content. Because Garyvee taught me this. This is the best way. So all of this happened, and then I got really interested in that guy. Then I was expanding my brand. I became big in the ecosystem as a young person. So one day I got an invitation from from one of the organizers who was organizing an event in Singapore, and they said, we need you as a filler speaker. So now what is a filler speaker and a main speaker? So main speaker means जिसके नाम पे tickets बिकती है, जो आते हैं जिनका slot booked है कि 9 बजे ये speaker बोलेगा come watch him. So you go there and what filler speaker is कि filler speaker is in case अगर 9 बजे वो star speaker नहीं आता है, so 9 से 9:50, 9 to 9:15 के बीच में कौन बोलेगा? We can't keep our audience waiting, right? So we need someone to fill it. So I was like, okay, ठीक है, फिलर स्पीकर भी है तो what, सिंगापुर जाने का मौका मिल रहा है फ्री में, सिंगापुर में जाके स्पीच देने का मौका मिल रहा है, गुड, आई लर्न समथिंग, आई मीट न्यू पीपल, आई मीट बिग स्पीकर्स एज वेल, इट्स गुड. कोई मेन स्पीकर तो बड़ा ही होगा अगर मुझे फिलर बुला रहे हैं तो. आई जस्ट एक्सेप्टेड द अपॉर्चुनिटी. 1 month बिफोर द इवेंट आई गेट टू नो द मेन स्पीकर इज Garyvee. I started packing 1 महीने पहले से. I was like, bro, from today, like leak everything. I knew that my filler speaking स्पॉट के लिए तुमको कुछ प्रिपेयर नहीं करना होता है, बिकॉज वहाँ पे जाके बस ऑडियंस से इंटरेक्ट करके मस्ती करना होता है. आई स्टार्टेड प्रिपेयरिंग फ्रॉम दैट डे कि इफ 15 मिनट मिल गए तो मैं क्या बोलूँगा, इफ 30 मिनट्स मिल गए तो क्या बोलूँगा, इफ 5 मिनट मिले तो क्या बोलूँगा. आई हैड डिफरेंट कॉम्बिनेशंस. आई हैड 7 स्पीचेस प्रिपेयर्ड. लाइक ब्रो, सब अलग अलग स्पीच अलग अलग टाइम के हिसाब से प्रिपेयर करके जाना है, क्योंकि उतना ही बोलना है और वैसा बोल के प्रॉपर किल करके आ रहा है. देन आई वेंट देयर, got in the same event. Now filler speaker or main speaker, your speaker, you get a badge which is VIP speaker. So you get to hang out in the speakers lounge. Just because you're in a speakers lounge, you get to meet Gary. Gary is in the speaker lounge. He's having dinner, you're having dinner. He's eating lunch, you're eating lunch. Everybody's chill, having fun together. So after the lunch, after his speech, I just went and cracked few jokes, थोड़ा time pass किया. एंड उसके बाद एक सेशन था. द सेशन विद नेटवर्किंग सेशन. in the networking session, only like top 20, 30 people, like millionaires, multi-millionaires, all these people were there, good speakers. They all were standing, they all were sipping wine. They were having wine conversations because of course Gary is there. So wine conversations hona hai. And I stood next to Gary and I told him, I don't drink wine because I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink alcohol. I've never tasted. I don't eat chicken, so I don't even know what to grab here because it's Singapore, people are eating non-veg. And the vegetarian was salad tha. I'm like, and I don't even have a question to ask you or make this conversation interesting. So I don't even want to waste your time. I generally don't have anything. But I love who you are. Do you mind if I just stand right next to you and listen to you while you're having conversation with other people? Do you mind that? He said no. 2 घंटा मैं खड़ा रहा, मैं उसको सुन रहा हूँ, वो लोगों से बात कर रहा है. 2 hours later he says, oh, you're really persistent, man. Let's go have some dinner. Let's go eat something. Okay, let's go eat something. मैंने sure. मतलब yeah, come. फिर मैं गया and then I realized that उस particular चीज पे there was no one. Just me and Gary. Like, he took me on a dinner because I was persistent with him alone. Like, it was a kind of a date. Like, see, that's the best date of the world. Like, bro. And then the real conversation happened, and then he told me about starting my own podcast. Then starting my own podcast के साथ मैं और क्या कर सकता हूँ? How can I make my brand and make it a bigger brand? How can I do more things to even take it to another level? Those were the conversations we had, and that one dinner changed everything, because then I asked him, why don't you come on my podcast? And he said, I won't be the first guest. I'll be the 15th guest. I was like, I'm recording here right now. You're on record that you will be my 15th guest. If I record 14, I'll call you, I'll hunt you down. I'll fly down to fucking your office if I have to, but you can't deny. He said, done. Coincidentally, 1 year later, I recorded 16 episodes. Okay. And after recording 16 episodes, I was invited to speak at Babson College in America. Boston mein, Babson is the world's number 1 entrepreneurship college. They called me to give a TEDx talk. Now they called me there. And Boston, you can't go directly. You have to go via New York. I'm like, bro, I'm in New York. Gary's here. 16 episodes are done. Wrote this guy. And then he was coming to some event at a Lavo nightclub. It was a nightclub right nearby his office in Manhattan only. I went there. He came there. We both were in a nightclub. We were partying together. We were having an event together. Then while having partying and all that, I told him, remember, this is what happened. He's like, oh, you remember? And he remembers me from Singapore because he tells in front of everyone, oh, this Singapore guy, look at how persistent he is. And then I told him, let's do a podcast. He's like, let's do a podcast. We did a podcast together.